What's good? My people, check in. Athletes in Quarantine, Volume 4. I first want to start off by letting you guys know I'm upset because Maryland just issued an official lockdown. So we in the crib for real, like we stuck. And I'm speechless, like I'm sad. And they talking about if you outside and it's not essential, you gotta pay a fine of $5,000 or you go to jail for less than a year. They going crazy, Slim. Like, I don't know how they're gonna be able to enforce that, but I mean, I don't see the point of threatening people with jail time because of, the situation. Like, putting someone in jail isn't gonna do anything. All right, about to go live with the guests. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. What are you up to right now?
What's it like in the U.S.?
Well, as of right now, I was just saying, in my state, they just declared an official shutdown.
Ah,
So we're like in the house for real now.
is full panic mode or not yet?
Like, nah, it's not panic mode. It's just I mean, you could say it's panic mode, but it's just they're trying to lighten the curve or whatever you want to say.
Flatten the curve, yeah.
Yeah, flatten the curve. So I mean, it's upsetting because our birthdays is coming up.
True.
Our
True.
birthday.
I'm hoping that in 3 weeks things start to go back to normal.
Facts. Dang, that just took me back to downtown Fort Myers. We were so lit.
Let's not relive that.
That was a good memory. What do you mean?
For what I remember, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you and Karen getting into it at the end of the night, though.
What?
Yeah, you probably don't remember that part. Anyways, let's go away from that.
Okay, yes.
And let's jump into the 24-second shot clock. All right, I don't know if you already know.
You're going to ask me questions and I'm going to do my best to answer them.
Okay, perfect. You just pick which one, all right?
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so, ready? All right, freestyle or breaststroke?
Freestyle.
Florida or Barbados?
Barbados.
Riri or Beyonce?
Riri.
Bar Louie or Cadillac Jacks?
Cadillac Jacks.
Miami Carnival or Barbados Carnival?
Barbados Carnival. Crop over.
Michael Phelps or Michael Jordan?
Michael Phelps.
Okay. And that's it right there. Nice. That was pretty good. Nice, quick thinking.
Those were obvious ones too. These were definites for me.
Really?
No hard choices. Yeah.
All right. Just to see what you're gonna say about the other ones I had, because I just went random. All right. Regular shots or Jello shots?
Jello.
Okay. Lions or Tigers?
Lions.
I knew that one. All right. Merlot or Cabernet?
Merlot.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
I love how you left out the alcohol ones during the shot clock because those took more thinking. It's important.
Yeah, for real. You don't want to, you want to drink how you want to drink. You don't want to be forced to have something you don't want. All right, so give the fans. All right, I didn't introduce you. What's your name?
I'm Lani.
Okay.
Lani Cabrera.
All right.
Born and raised in Barbados. Former Olympic swimmer. 2016. Now I'm living in Italy, working in Italy, no longer swimming, barely exercising, but
I saw you post some exercises today.
Yeah, because I had to do this, so I figured if you asked about if I had questions, I could say I worked out this morning.
Oh, you're funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Well played.
I tried.
All right. So you already answered one of my questions. Where are you from? But
Yeah.
like, what's the average lifestyle there for those who have never heard or been to Barbados?
It's pretty much what you would imagine. You think of paradise, a paradise island, living on a paradise island. That's pretty much it. Very laid back, chilled lifestyle. Um,
Okay.
yeah, growing up in Barbados, actually, I was very fortunate for that because although it was very kind of relaxed and not the same kind of lifestyle you would compare to maybe like bigger cities or popular cities, like the fast pace. So
Yeah.
I was lucky to kind of have grow up in a household with foreign parents. My dad's American, my mom's British, so it kind of had a balance of both worlds, sort of.
Wow.
Yeah, in a sense.
I did not know that.
Huh.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, coming from Barbados, how did you get into swimming in America?
Um, so I got to the age in Barbados where it sort of became harder and harder to kind of take swimming as seriously as I wanted to. I was 16, 17 years old, and I think I kind of realized that I wanted to take it to the next level. And I figured the best way to do that, well, my parents figured the best way to do that was to have me train in the US and train with a bigger team and a bigger group. Um, uh, at one point, I was kind of one of the oldest in my team in Barbados and not too big a group. So it was nice to kind of be in an atmosphere where kind of everyone had the same goal, almost a big group of 30, 40 people all training to kind of be their best. So being in the US in that sense was the best option.
Wow. So was it like a cutthroat environment, or did everyone have like an equal opportunity?
So I swam 1 year in the US. Oh, sorry, you mean in Barbados or in Florida?
Just just when you came to the US and you were surrounded in like in those big groups of,
Fortunately for me, I was in a sport, swimming, where it's so
yeah.
individual. So it was never like fighting for a spot or trying to beat someone out of this. Swimming is all about yourself, your lane, and your times. So it was nice that I was training with people who wanted to make fast times and swim fast times. So we kind of had each other to train with and play off of each other while training. So it was never really like uh, cutthroat mentality, you'd say.
Okay. Well, that is a calming thought because a lot of other sports are different,
Yeah,
for
and the
sure.
contact and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm lucky. I was fortunate to kind of be so engulfed in a non-contact sport because
Facts.
yeah,
So, currently, like in Italy, we're gonna jump back into the COVID-19, aka
yeah.
Dorona. Like,
As you
like
say,
that.
I like have to golf, but
Oh no.
okay,
Oh no. And
okay.
so, just
Tell
joking.
me, tell me.
So, obviously, that's like one of the most affected places on Earth, to date. As far as the timeline, Italy had one of the biggest breakouts from the initial start. Like, what is this? What are the circumstances now?
To be honest, it's kind of difficult for me to kind of say what's really going on. The first 2 weeks of March, I actually was traveling, so I wasn't here. I
Mm,
came back in the midst of it, and since I've been back, I haven't really left my apartment. So
true.
it's hard to like, yeah, I went twice to the grocery store, but that was it. So it's kind of hard for me to gauge like what the situation is like in the entirety of the country. I'm pretty much sat at home every day, just kind of hoping for the best, waiting for like news from the government that this is going this direction or it's going opposite direction. So
Wow.
sadly enough, I'm kind of living in the bubble that is my apartment.
Wow. Okay. Well, at least
Yeah.
you're able to get to the grocery store and,
Yeah,
um,
so stuff like essentials, I mean, just recently I ordered a puzzle from Amazon. It got here in 4 days. Going to the grocery store is normal, the pharmacy if I need to. I have a nice balcony, so I try to sit outside at least 30 minutes a day
oh
to
yeah, I
kind of
saw
like
that. I
stay
saw you post
sane.
some pics on there.
Yeah, so, but like the things that, the niceties you'd say like going to the bar at 5 to have an aperitif with friends, or all of that is kind of on hold, which is, it's unfortunate, but I mean, what's
Yeah.
that compared to kind of a month at home, right?
Right. I mean, health is wealth. Like this time it's clearly a very
Yeah,
serious time right now, and everyone needs to take it serious.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so jumping back into swimming,
yeah.
like give us an example of like the Olympic experience. Like how was that?
Oh, so it was pretty incredible. So I was in London 2012 for like being a spectator. I was there while the games were going on, and that experience in itself was unrealistic. But I had really, really like, I didn't know what to expect coming into Rio, but the whole, from being in the village, from being walking around the village, other athletes, other sports, going to see other sports happening, crazy. My swimming, that was like a moment in my swimming career that I don't think anything would ever top it.
Yeah,
It was scary, and but I mean, in general, it was an awesome experience overall.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. So as far as competing, like what was your biggest, I mean your best experience or most memorable experience competing in the Olympics?
Well, I did one event on like the second day of the competition. I think it was day one or day two or day three of the swimming, the 400 freestyle. And I felt good. I was trying to stay calm leading up to it. I tried to limit the social media comments and messages that I was getting just because I didn't want to psych myself out.
Yeah.
Um, and I thought I was doing a really good job at that, but right before I started my race, I kind of, for some reason, looked into the crowd and kind of like
I mean, it's
lost
hard.
it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, it was thrilling to be competing at that level, but at the same time, it was just shocking and nerve-wracking. But I mean, overall, it was a great experience.
Great. I'm actually really glad you got that experience, honestly. Like, and I'm glad
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
someone that was personally in the Olympics. Like, that's so
yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I also had like a kind of experience back in
Yeah, when you played for 2015, right? Russia?
yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
played in no, it was in Gwangju, South Korea,
Oh yeah, South Korea. Okay.
and Kira was actually there representing
Yeah, university games, right?
yeah, the university
Yeah,
games. So my best
yeah,
experience was like just having the entire world in one little village. It
exactly.
was
Yeah,
so cool just interacting with like everyone from around the world. Like you can literally talk to anybody from around the
yeah,
world. And that was
yeah,
just, we're trading gifts and, playing
yeah.
card games with each
Pins and
other.
meeting new people, talking to new people that you don't know who
Yeah.
you're gonna meet, and a lot of that. So I was competing for Barbados from 2008 was my first like international competition, Commonwealth Games in
Okay.
uh, Pune, India.
Wow.
And throughout the years, I still have met people and met friends since then that I'm still in contact with that do completely different sports or from completely different places. I met in Rio a girl that does rowing for Egypt, you
Wow.
know, and she's still on my Instagram, like, you
Yeah.
know, so it's crazy that you meet these people and get to know these people and
Right.
uh,
I just want to comment like on the growth you have like as a person, once you meet these people and how your mind
yeah,
expands and you just don't think the same way anymore when you have an experience like
exactly,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Next question is like obviously you said you're not swimming anymore, you're barely even working out. Like how was that transition, from being a world-class athlete competing in the Olympics to working just like full on adulting?
Yeah. So actually, I stopped swimming in summer of 2017, and for about a year and a half, I did nothing. I didn't want to do anything. I was so happy to just kind of wake up and choose to not go to a practice or to not do a workout. So that was a little bit rough because I feel like my body changed. Mentally, I changed a little bit too because I was kind of missing something that I had all my life. Now I find I get a lot more anxious and in life in general. I'm not burning as much energy compared to as I used to. So now I've finally come to terms with the fact that I need to actually work out and be active, even if it's not at that level that I used to
Mhm.
train at. So funny enough, and I promise this is true, before this whole Corona thing started, I was trying to start swimming again,
Really?
but just, yeah, but just as for a fun moment with friends here. In Italy, we get like a long lunch break. So taking lunch and going to the pool, swimming for 30, 40 minutes, and then going back to the office. And it's actually been great. I'm doing it now. Well, not now because everything's shut down, but
Yeah.
hopefully after this is over, I plan to do a lot more of that just to kind of stay active and stay in shape to a certain extent.
Right. Well, I hope you get to keep doing that too, because
Yeah,
obviously you have the passion and you don't want to let that go. It's still
yeah,
driving you. So
yeah.
outside of the current crisis, before everything started happening, like what's the lifestyle in Italy? I've never been, and I know a lot of people probably are curious.
Yeah, it's actually it's really nice here. It's funny because totally different countries and totally different ways of life, but the culture here regarding family and like people's kind of home knit scenario, it's very similar to what I grew up with in Barbados. So that has been very, very comforting for me. And I'm not in a big city. I'm in a very small town. So I've really been taking advantage of that. And it's been great. I mean, although I'm in a small city, I'm able to leave a lot. I'm like an hour and a half train from Milan. So I travel a lot because, travel in Europe is so cheap, hopping on a train and doing something different for the day.
Yeah,
So I've really been trying to take advantage of that. And after this, even more.
yeah. Well,
So,
you should like everyone should be thinking like, how can they stay outside and connect,
yeah,
connect and stay in
yeah.
the moment because that's what I'm picking up from this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
part of what's getting me through the whole stay indoors chaos as well. Like having the option to plan trips for when this is over, places that I want to go,
Oh
things I want
yeah.
to see. So,
Definitely got some things planned
yeah,
personally as well. I
yeah,
would love to get
yeah.
to Italy, honestly, though. Hopefully
Yeah, you should for sure, for
next
sure.
time
If
I'm
you
able
ever
to.
head back to Germany, right?
Yeah, I was in Germany. Yeah,
Ah,
but you mentioned the train. In Germany, the train can get a little expensive, so I'm not sure about Italy, but
yeah, true actually, but I guess if you break it up too, like depending how you do it, if you take I don't know, I'm not an expert, but maybe from like one city, let's say you're living in Berlin and flights from Munich are way cheaper. Like I'm
oh
sure a
yeah,
train from Munich, the distance and the time it takes to take a train from one city to another major airport where you save a couple hundred on a flight, then it's definitely worth it.
you definitely can save. So
And we're young and able-bodied now too, so I'm the kind of person that if I travel 14 hours for a 30-hour trip, I'm okay with it because I don't mind sitting on a train for 5 hours and then taking a bus and
yeah,
so.
that's honestly how I cut some of my expenses when I was going to see my cousin in the Netherlands. I'm like, I'm getting on the bus. I'll pay
Yeah,
I'll pay five
yeah,
euro to take this bus ride.
yeah.
Like it may be longer, but
The key is to not be picky.
exactly. That's
And
one
that's how
thing
you
you,
see the world. That's how
yeah,
I've done it.
exactly. That's one thing you have to keep in mind because you're in another country, you're,
Yeah.
it's
I
not the
went
norm.
to Prague last September and I landed in the airport. I just pretty much had 20 hours in Prague. It was a very quick trip. But I got to the airport and there was a 25 euro cab to the city center or 150 euro on the bus. I mean, the
Wow.
bus took a little bit longer, but
Okay.
all that
Yeah.
is a big savings.
Yeah. Big savings.
Yeah.
So like, give us a rundown of some of the places you've been around the world to like international Lani.
Well, for swimming, quite a bit actually. So my first major trip was India. I went to Pune, India in 2008. And then I did a lot of traveling around the Caribbean for regional competitions and annually. A lot of traveling within the US, different states. But then I also got to Europe quite a bit. I did Budapest, Scotland, Spain, France, uh, Russia, Turkey.
Wow.
Got to Qatar for swimming as well, and then now I'm just kind of checking all the other European countries off my list that I wasn't fortunate to visit with swimming. But
Okay. Wow.
yeah.
So how did you get from being from Barbados to swimming and living and going to school in America to now working in Italy?
Well, that's a good question.
Like that's
I
crazy.
just kind of take advantages of opportunities. Um, I got my job, actually, my current job, through swimming, pretty much. The company that I work for does prefabricated stainless steel swimming pools, and a lot of them, like we did 16 of the pools at the Rio Olympic Games.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and one of my old friends that I swam with as a kid is an engineer for the company, and he was actually in Barbados chasing a project with the director of design, and I met them for just a drinks casually to catch up, and they ended up asking if I wanted to come on board. And it is an Italian company, but this was the USA offices recruiting me. So because of my connections in the swimming world and kind of like my knowledge on the world of swimming, it seemed to be a good fit. And after 2 years, I kind of took advantage of an opening here in the Italian offices and jumped on it. And then 4 months later, here I am. I
Yeah,
still
that's
haven't
really dope.
taken it in completely as to what I did, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's working so far. So,
Yeah, that's really dope, honestly. Like how you're able to transition from, swimming to still being involved in the,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah. So last December, I actually went to swim meet, this new international swimming league, and I visited. Was at this competition for work, but all of my friends that are still competing, I was there with them. They were still competing, still racing, but all these meets that I would have been at, I used to be at as a competitor. I'm now there, but on the other side of things,
right. Okay,
with a
cool.
drink in
So
hand, so it's much nicer that way.
I think some things don't change.
Yeah, you're right.
So, just a few more questions, or a couple more
Yeah.
questions. So what do you miss most about, swimming?
I definitely miss the camaraderie. I love having like a group of girls, or in FGCU, it was just a girls team, but I love having like that core group of people that you train with and struggle through practices with, because I've met some of my core life friends through that, and so I miss kind of having that, seeing the same group of people every day,
True,
and
true.
yeah,
Yeah, I would agree. That's one thing I'm gonna
yeah.
miss out on. Speaking of FGCU's pool, I remember um, after I graduated, I went back to do like just stay in shape and use the facilities, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna try swimming. I swam back up and back one time, and I was like, no, no way, people do this like for a living.
No,
Like this
that's
is
fine. If
crazy.
I were to go on a basketball court tomorrow, I would make a fool of myself. So,
True. All right, my last question is, as you've been speaking on, transitioning from being an athlete to full-time adulting, like what do you recommend for those who are kind of coming to the end of their career and don't really know yet or understand yet what they want to do, to in their next steps in life?
I definitely think one major thing is keeping a positive attitude. I mean, it's so hard because we come from a set schedule and everything being pretty
Yes.
much called out for us. In college, we're on a scholarship. We're basically doing what we're paid to do. We're not
Yes.
worrying about bills and like real life. We're competing, we're doing what we enjoy. And it's easy to kind of not really take advantage of it so much, but be aware that we don't have to worry, you know? But I
Right.
think what's important, like when you stop that, it's crazy that you don't notice how much you take for granted.
Yeah.
For example, now I have a set job and I swim occasionally, but now that I want to get back into swimming, I find myself buying a new cap or buying a new pair of goggles, and all of this stuff came as part of my equipment, my kit, as I was competing as an athlete. So now having to little changes like that, you don't really realize how much you take advantage of,
Yeah.
and you can feel defeated, especially with applying to jobs, trying to, multiple interviews, trying to like work your way into a new environment. Whereas before you're an athlete, everything comes so easy. You have your team, you have your practices, you have your schedule. But now you have to figure out essentially begging for a job and doing all these interviews and applying. I definitely think keeping at it is my advice.
Right.
Staying in
Yeah.
the positive, the right mindset, and kind of just not letting yourself get defeated. The same with the same kind of mentality you would put towards training for a big competition or a big event. Like, just kind of keep working at it until you get the result that you're happy with.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to be taking that advice. And just
Yeah,
one,
and I'm always available too. Like, I'm just a text away or a phone call away if you ever need help with anything. I'm not a
appreciate
mental coach
it.
at all. Don't
Facts.
quote me on anything I say, but feel free to take my advice if it works for you.
Yeah. I mean, we're both athletes. So, we went to the same
Yeah,
school. We partied at the same parties.
yeah,
We, like, we're locked in. Like, that's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Um, and then one thing I wanted to like also mention about athletes and transitioning was if you're an athlete out there and you're saying this, like I would recommend that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So yeah,
yeah.
you take all your time to grind on your goals as far as your sport, but also try to figure out other things that you want to do, outside of sports. And that will kind of like help flatten the curve when you're done with sports.
I see what you did there. Yeah, no, yeah, very good point. Very good point for sure. I mean, I got really fortunate with my job being in the swimming world, but I mean, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to, because you were a basketball player in college, doesn't mean that you need to be a basketball coach.
Right,
So
yeah. Yeah,
there's options for everyone. I mean,
right. Well, me
explore,
personally,
explore until you're happy.
yeah, me personally, I wouldn't mind being a coach. I enjoy giving back. Like I'm wearing one of
No,
my
yeah.
shirts, "Stay Ahead of the Game" for LLC that me and a couple people started about 2 years ago.
Okay.
We had camps down in Naples, as well as we were doing individual workouts and stuff and team workouts all through Fort
Yeah,
Myers. So that's one thing that I'm definitely passionate about, for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that wraps up all the questions I have for you today. I know
Perfect.
it's like happy hour time over there, so I'm sure you're about to
Yeah.
pour up some more low.
Having a cup of tea, not having the chance to work out, I have to watch my calorie intake.
Facts. Okay, okay.
Well, thanks for having me. It's
Yeah,
really
for
cool
sure.
initiative that you're doing. Super awesome. All the
Thanks, I
best.
appreciate it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay distracted and, also figure out other things that I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
All right.
Sounds good.
On that
Well,
note,
good
I'll let you
luck.
go. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to you too with everything.
Perfect. Thank you.
All
Ciao,
right, thank
ciao.
you.
Bye.
Ciao. Thank you guys for checking out Athletes in Quarantine Volume 4 with my guest, Lani Cabrera. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Kool-Aid. I will be going live every day while we're in quarantine with a new athlete or a coach. And if you guys like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment and share it with your friends.